How's it, guys? Today I'm back at the very first herd that I recorded that had Ngunis in. But before I get started, let me first do my shoutouts. Today's shoutouts go to Fallout Nature, Sportino, Makosana Sigabi, Petrus van der Merwe, Divonga Farms, Frans Mtombeni, Jill Hill, Mandla Nhlongo, Basimani, and Sidwell. Guys, thanks for your continued support. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. So the very first piece I did about this herd, and I just need to make sure my fingers aren't in the way. The very first piece I did regarding Ngunis was titled, "Are Indigenous African Cattle the Answer to Beef Production?" And I showcased this herd, and it was around about, I think it was March or April or May, thereabouts. And we had a look at this herd, and the background behind this herd is that the owner has a piece of property pretty much the same size as mine. He runs 150 head of animals. So he carries a lot of animals on a small amount of grazing. And when I drove past these animals today, I saw what some of the cows looked like, and I thought I should stop and just show you, because I make a lot of statements on YouTube. I make a lot of claims. And it's nice if I can back them up with actual physical evidence. So here we are. Here's two Nguni cows. Guys, these animals graze 6 to 8 hours a day. The amount of grass he has available is pretty much or very similar to what we saw yesterday. You can see here where they are. There's not much grass here. Okay, granted, they haven't been here all day. This morning they were able to graze on a little bit of stover. But basically what they have to eat today is the little bit of grass that's come up here since the rain, and then on the outer boundaries of the camp. These animals are used to this. They graze 6 to 8 hours per day and they get crawled afterwards. But look at this cow. Look at this cow. Now, there's a reason I'm saying this. I want you guys to understand that grazing-wise, conditions are very similar to what we saw yesterday. Condition-wise, yesterday's Nguni was not an isolated incident. Look at this cow. Look at the little black calf that she's suckling. She's in good condition. She will definitely reconceive again. Look at that little Nguni heifer over there. Look at the overall condition of these animals. Now, I was speaking to the owner. He said to me he's got 10 or 12 cows he has to take out of the herd. And you might see them on the screen, some Ngunis that are very thin. The problem is he's not quite sure how old they are, but he knows the oldest ones are at least 20 years old. They no longer have teeth. He's kept them this long because they first had to wean their calves. So, yeah, guys, if you see a thinner looking Nguni here, just understand she could be 20 plus years old. He's going to fatten them up as soon as the grazing turns green, and they need to go. But guys, look here. Look at this animal. They get no added supplementary feed. I think they only get salt, if that. But look at the condition of this animal. Look how beautiful she looks. She's actually fat. Look at the condition of that one. This is an Nguni cross because he's putting Brangus bulls on. And despite the fact that she's a cross, she's looking very good. Now, this little camp that I'm standing in is probably not even, heck, I wonder if it's half a hectare. So they spent the afternoon grazing here. They'll eat what they can get. Tomorrow they'll go out again to the maize stover. The land on which they're grazing maize, they've been on for 2 months. It's a small land. So they've pretty much finished up what's available there. Guys, remember, we've been in a drought. Last year we had a drought. We had a slow start to this summer, to this spring. So most farmers have an issue with availability of grazing. In fact, a lot of farmers have started selling off their animals. But look at the condition of these animals. This is maybe one of the thinner cows. I can't see whether she has a calf or not. But she's in no way in the same condition as the thinner ones we saw on yesterday's video. Just look at that animal. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. I'm assuming that's a heifer. I don't see that her udder's developed in any way, but even so. So guys, yeah. Are the indigenous breeds the answer to beef farming or beef production? And I think yes. Now, just something interesting, I want to go off on a tangent quickly. 95% of the weaners produced in the conventional beef farming systems are sold to the feedlots. That's 95%. But that's not 95% of the total herd or cattle numbers in our country. If you stop for a moment and you think how many towns there are in South Africa, and I don't know how many there are, but each town has its communal herd, which will be anything between 300 and 800 animals. If all of those communal farmers could produce something that is marketable, just imagine what effect they could have on the beef industry. More importantly, if they were able to produce grass-fed, grass-finished beef and sell that into the market with an absolutely or a much lower cost of production, just imagine how that would affect beef and meat prices to the consumer. I personally think it could have a huge effect. Over and above that, all the Nguni farmers who actually breed these animals as breeders, and many farmers of all the other indigenous breeds, most of them are not factored into the equation when the statement is made that 95% of beef production calves go to the feedlots. I think there's a huge, huge, huge potential. I think these are the animals to do it with. I mean, really? Where's the grass? And yet, they're shiny, they're sleek, their coats are not dull. Yes, there's a couple of thin ones in between, 10, 12, 15 of them. Yes, they range from 18 to 20 plus years old. But these animals are productive. And they're actually thriving because everywhere you look are little calves. There's plenty of them here. And plenty of them are still pregnant as well because he runs the bull with them all year round. So guys, yeah, I thought I'd just do an update, show you guys quickly. Yesterday's single Nguni cow is not a once-off event. These animals do well. You can see by the horns on this cow, she's an old lady. She's no longer young. But look at her. Fault her condition. Please fault her condition. Tell me there's something wrong with her condition. Judging by her teats and her udder, she weaned a calf not too long ago. And judging by her back end, she's probably due to calve in the near future. I can't see very well. But either way, please fault the condition of this cow, given the conditions. There's one of the older ones. That's one of the ones that need to go. She's 20 odd years old. She doesn't have teeth left. But for the most part, guys, these animals are looking brilliant and they're doing very, very, very well. Even the crosses, like this one. Even the crosses. And that just tells you how potent the Nguni influence is. Now, I'm not saying the other breeds aren't good. In fact, I think all the other indigenous breeds most certainly have a place. Your farm, your conditions, your grazing, your rainfall, your climate, all of that will play a role. I think there are areas where the Ngunis will do better than others. Excuse me. And I think there are areas where the Tulis might do better than the Ngunis. Just look at that calf. Look at these calves. Guys, remember, they get no additional supplemental feed. You can see clearly this is a little Brangus cross, Nguni cross. Absolutely nothing wrong with that calf. That's money. There's an old girl. She's got to go. She's got to retire. But man, look at that one. Look at that one. No extra feed, no extra vitamins and minerals. A basic salt lick, if that. I can't even remember if he gives them salt. I seem to imagine he doesn't, but I can't remember. But look at her condition. Look at her condition. Look at the grazing. And guys, you know what? He's a smaller farmer, as am I, as are many in this country. We do the best we can with what we have available to us. And I think I was having a discussion with him now. He just bought two new Brangus bulls. And he said to me he's going to look at decreasing the number of his cows and maybe buying in a few new purebred Ngunis again. Because he obviously knows what the value of these animals are. I mean, you can see it. These calves are just, they're beautiful. Anyway, I'm waffling again. I sometimes get carried away. And guys, if you've listened this far, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I lose track of time, and before I know it, we're way into the video. But if I can just say one thing, if anyone's still watching, and if you are, let me know. In fact, if you're still watching and you have a channel and you post videos, please put a link to your channel down in the comments, and I'll go and look at your channel, and I'll even promote your channel. But you don't just measure the cows on how they look. You also measure them on their offspring. And I think we've seen some very good looking calves. And guys, I'm comparing it to yesterday's animals. And the big difference is just the type of animal, the breed. Farming with the correct type. This one's pregnant. She's bagging up. A little bit thinner. But guess what? She's pregnant. Guess what? She's not emaciated. Despite the conditions, she's thriving. And if a cow can calve down regularly, it means that she's thriving. Looking at these calves in front of us, those that are weaned, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're beautiful, beautiful animals, raised under very tough conditions. Guys, that's me for now. I'm waffling once again. Sorry for that. We'll chat again. Have a good one. Cheers.